Hi, I'm Rainbow Sparkle and I'm reading The Enchanted Wood by Enid Blyton. This is chapter 26, A Plan for Bessie's Birthday. A week later, it was Bessie's birthday. She was very excited because Mother said that they could have a little party. "We'll ask all our friends in the faraway tree," she said. "Do you think we'd better?" said Joe doubtfully. "I think Mother would like Dame Washalot or Mr. Whiskers, but what about the angry pixie?" "Well, we can't tell very well who we could ask, some and not others," said Bessie. "The ones we left out would be very hurt indeed." "It's awkward," said Fanny. "We'd better go and tell Moonface and Silkie and ask them what to do." But Mother wouldn't let the two girls go off with Joe that day. She said there was a lot of ironing to do and they must help. "Oh, bother," said Fanny to Joe. "You'll have to go alone and ask Moonface and Silkie what they ought to do about our party. Don't be long, or we'll be worried about you. And please don't go climbing up into any strange land without us, will you?" "Don't worry," said Joe. "I'm not going to visit any more lands at the top of the faraway tree. I've had enough adventures to last me for the rest of my life." He set off and he ran through the enchanted wood and came to the faraway tree. It was a hot afternoon. Not many little folk were about. It seemed almost too hot to climb the tree, so Joe whistled. The little red squirrel popped down from the tree and looked at him, chewed on an acorn for a while. "Leap up to the top of the tree and ask old Moonface if he'll drop down a rope with a cushion at the end and haul me up, Squirrel, please," said Joe. "It's too hot to go clambering all the way up." The squirrel bounded lightly up the tree, and soon a rope with a fat cushion tied to it came slipping down the tree. Joe caught a hold of it, and he sat astride on the cushion and pulled on the rope. It began to go up the tree, bumping into branches all the way up. It was a funny ride, but Joe enjoyed it. He waved to the angry pixie, who was sitting outside his house eating pop biscuits. He stared at Joe in surprise and then grinned when he saw who it was. The owls were all asleep in their homes, and Mr. What's-her-name was awake for once and fell out of his chair in alarm when he suddenly saw Joe swinging up through the air, bumping into the boughs of the tree. When he saw it was Joe, he was so pleased that he fell off his branch onto the saucepanman who was snoozing in the chair just below. "Ouch!" said Saucepanman, startled. "What's the matter? Are you jumping on me? What are you doing that for?" "I'm not," said Mr. What's-her-name. "Look, there's Joe." "Go? But I don't want to go," said the saucepanman, settling down again. "Don't be so restless." "I said there's Joe," shouted Mr. What's-her-name. "Where?" said the saucepanman in surprise, looking all around. But by that time, of course, Joe was far away up the tree, laughing over funny What's-his-name and dear old Saucepanman. "Joe's gone now," said Saucepanman. "You didn't look in time." "Talking rhyme?" said Saucepanman, surprised. "Whatever for?" What's-her-name gave up, climbed back down to his chair and shut his eyes. Soon his snores reached Joe, who was far above. Hoping that Silkie would see him and go up to Moonface's to talk to him, he forgot about Dame Washalot's water, but it missed him nicely, splashing down heavy on poor old What's-her-name, making him dream that he was falling out of a boat into the sea. Silkie did see him and waved. She climbed the tree quickly to go up to Moonface's, By the time she got there, Joe had just arrived and was getting off the cushion. "Hello," said Moonface. He was very pleased to see him. "Where are Bessie and Fanny?" Joe told him. He told them that Bessie's birthday was coming too, and her difficulty about how many people that she could ask. "We'd like everyone to come," said Joe, "but Mother wouldn't like some of them, we're sure. But what should we do?" I know, said Silkie, clapping her hands suddenly. "Next week, the Land of Birthdays is coming to the top of the faraway tree. And anyone who has a birthday can go there. And they can go up the tree and have a wonderful party with all their friends. Oh, it would be lovely. Last time the birthday land came, no one had a birthday, so we couldn't go. But this time we can, because Bessie could ask us all to go." "It sounds good," said Joe, "but I didn't really want to go to any strange lands again. You know, we always seem to get mixed up in strange adventures. So far we've escaped all right, but we might not another time." "Oh, no harm will come to you at the Land of Birthdays," said Moonface at once. "It's a perfectly wonderful land. You really must come. It's a chance that you couldn't miss." "All right," said Joe, beginning to feel excited. "I'll tell the girls when I get back. And we'll tell everyone in the tree and Mr. What's-a-name and his brownies too. Bessie would like everyone to go, wouldn't she?" "Oh, yes," said Moonface. "What happens though? I mean, do we have to arrange anything about tea? And what about the birthday cake? Fanny was going to make one for Bessie." "Tell her not to," said Silkie. "She'll find everything she wants in the birthday land. My word, we are lucky. Fancy someone really having a birthday just as the birthday land comes along." "Bessie's birthday is on Wednesday," said Joe, "so we'll go up the tree then. I'd better go back and tell the girls now. I said that I wouldn't be long." "Have a toffee shock," said Moonface, holding out a bag. "Oh, no thank you," said Joe. "I'd rather have a pot biscuit." So they sat and munched lovely pot biscuits and talked about the exciting time that they had with the red goblins. "Now I really must go," said Joe, and he got up and chose a red cushion, said goodbye to Silkie and Moonface, and then shot off down the slippery slip. And he thought he really could do that all day. It's such a lovely feeling. He flew out the trapdoor at the bottom and landed on the moss. He got up and ran off home. The girls were pleased to see him back so soon. When they heard about the birthday land, they were tremendously excited. "Oh," said Betty, going red with joy, "I am lucky. I wonder what will happen. Do you suppose there will be a cake for me?" "Oh, rather," said Joe, "and lots of other things too, I expect." "We shall have to tell Mother," said Fanny. "I wonder if she will let us go." Mother didn't seem to mind. "I expect it's just some sort of birthday joke with your friends in the wood are playing on you," she said. "But yes, you can go if you like. Our cottage is really too small for a very large party." "I shall wear my best dress," said Bessie happily, "the one Mother got me last week with the blue sash." But Mother wouldn't let her. "No," she said firmly. "You will go in your old clothes. I remember quite well what you looked like when you went off for tea with that funny friend of yours, the old saucepanman. I certainly shall not allow any of you to wear nice things next Wednesday." Bessie was nearly in tears. "But Mother, I can't go in my old clothes," she said. But it was no good. Mother said that they had to wear old clothes or else they couldn't go. So there was nothing they could do about it. I don't know what everyone will think of us going to the birthday land in our old clothes, said Joe gloomy. I've got a mind not to even go. But when Wednesday afternoon came, they all thought differently. Old clothes or not, they still wanted to go. Come on, said Joe. It's time we went to the land of birthdays.